Are you ready?
Hey everybody, this is Cody Fairless-Lee, and today I'm counting down my number 15 to number 11 favorite movies of my top 20 best movies of 2015. For this list, I discussed the 5 movies from the past year that I've seen and enjoyed that are sort of up there as my favorite movies of the year.
Yo, Trey.
What up?
I got something to say.
Also, be aware that because it's a big list, my top 20 plus honorable mention countdown is divided into 6 videos, with the honorable mentions made as its own video and the other 5 videos discussing 5 movies each in my number 20 to number 6 videos, as well as 2 movies for my 5th video and 3 movies for my 6th and last video in my top 20. So without further ado, let's get to the movies that were a little more decent of the year.
Ghosts are real. This much I know.
Number 15, Crimson Peak.
I've seen them all my life.
The visionary Guillermo del Toro is really starting to have a healthy relationship with Legendary Pictures. After Pacific Rim and while that film's 2 sequels are apparently struggling, they made this spooky period piece that mixes horror, fantasy, mystery, and more importantly, gothic romance into this classical style visual work of art.
What do you mean behind?
However, it turns out that Sir Thomas Sharpe, played by Tom Hiddleston, and his creepy sister, played by Jessica Chastain, in their second October 2015 movie, with her first to be discussed soon, are not ghosts, but human like the rest of the main cast. Of course, if I mentioned who they really were, that would just spoil the mystery subgenre of this film.
There are parts of the house that are unsafe.
I knew Jessica Chastain's character was a bitch and the main villain of the film, but I could have sworn that the first pieces of plot information for this motion picture said that the 2 sinister siblings were ghosts. Or maybe I somehow lost my mind.
I have to leave. You have nowhere else to go. This is your home now.
Regardless, I want to know what happened to that little puppy Edith Cushion was playing with in the end. But good news for the squeamish, the movie is not all jump scares and creepiness thanks to its beautiful score about the good old days of the late 1800s and the early 1900s. Overall, Crimson Peak is a fun haunted house flick with terrific performances and no doubt incredibly beautiful to look at.
Where am I?
Number 14, The Good Dinosaur. A coming-of-age Pixar film with a problematic production, I originally expected this movie to be set in a civilized city like New York or California, or somewhere well-known showing how humans and dinos react to one another in our modern world. That was a long time ago.
You don't understand.
Here, the movie is more prehistoric, and is kind of a western because of the farming and the herding, which is kind of disappointing compared to what a better concept the film would have had with my expectations. It also has unexpected heart-wrenching moments, a peaceful score, and beautiful images, though it's no doubt Pixar's lowest box office opening weekend since the original Toy Story and the wide release of A Bug's Life. Thanks a lot, Hunger Games.
Are you little?
However, a Pixar short film is shown before the movie called Sanjay's Super Team, which is better than Lava being shown before Inside Out, and while watching that short, I thought that something like this should become a movie. Don't know how that would work, considering that Pixar already has a superhero film called The Incredibles and its upcoming 2019 sequel. Plus, if any of these rival animation studios use an idea like that, there will be lawsuits.
What?
Anyway, back to the main movie. One of my favorite scenes has to be the one with a Styracosaurus named Forrest Woodbush, voiced by the film's director Peter Zahn. He has so many animals on him, and is pretty paranoid with fear, but that's just what makes him funny. Overall, The Good Dinosaur is not only better than Inside Out, but it's a fun and emotional adventure. Number 13, The Peanuts movie. Just to remind you all that I haven't seen a Peanuts special in probably over a decade, and I was a little skeptic when Blue Sky Studios announced a computer-animated 3D movie based on this beloved franchise would be made.
One of those stars is my star, and I know that my star will always be there for me. Like a comforting voice saying, "Don't give up, kid."
But apparently, the movie was a little better than I expected. I mean, these kids created by the late Charles M. Schulz have been around for 65 years, and if anybody can make a movie old fans and new fans will enjoy, it's Steve Martino. Sure, he co-directed the Fourth Ice Age movie, but more importantly, he co-directed Horton Hears a Who. The point I'm trying to make is that with both Horton and Peanuts, Steve really knows how to make a G-rated Blue Sky movie that stays true to their respective classic source materials and reaps the rewards with critical acclaim and big box office bucks.
You're the star of the school now!
Though, despite being loved by critics and audiences, this movie may or may not be nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. Remember when the Lego Movie came out with a 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, made box office bananas, and got snubbed by the Academy despite its surprised success? Boy, the whole world and me were pissed.
Are you serious?
But here's a fun fact, this is Blue Sky's 10th feature film, and their first without such a huge cast. Well, what did we expect? The main characters are kids, dogs, and birds. I mean, when I heard this movie was happening, I didn't know how it would all work without any actual adults present, but it worked out just fine. And believe it or not, the voice of Snoopy's love interest, Fifi, is sexy, funny-voiced cougar Kristen Chenoweth in her second straight Blue Sky movie after Rio 2. Plus, if you're all wondering who voices the invisible adults who go wah wah wah, wah 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 wah, it's jazz musician Troy Trombone Shorty Andrews.
There's a guy who's going places.
While most kids' movies have kids dragging their parents to take them to see a certain kids' movie, this is the one kids' movie that for the most part has parents dragging their kids to this movie cause hey, we all grew up with Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Woodstock, and so on. With good music and songs, a relatable protagonist, an epic side story about Snoopy's fight against the Red Baron, and a bunch of classic Peanuts nostalgia, you got yourself an all-ages treat that may even make you want to be a kid again.
I can't believe I'm about to talk to the new girl. Hello?
Number 12. Pixels.
Do you remember how there was a tape of the event and all the games that were played that was then put in a capsule and shot out into the universe looking for extraterrestrial life? I have reason to believe that some alien life force found that tape and has sent down real-life versions of what they saw to attack us.
Though not as good as I originally anticipated, the film has such a clever story about aliens using 80s video games to attack the Earth, with Adam Sandler as the hero, and Kevin James as the President of the United States, along with a great Peter Dinklage, a speechless Ashley Benson, and MILFs Michelle Monaghan and Jane Krakowski.
Oh, forget about it! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Josh Gad is also in this movie and is funny at times, but his character is also pretty much a loser who falls in love with a video game character played by Ashley, and their fate at the end is just very weird. But at least Josh did a good job singing and dancing in this one scene. I just wish we got to see real aliens rather than manipulated footage of 80s pop culture, but I love the pixelated visual effects of these video game characters like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong.
One game you suck at. Yeah.
Speaking of the former, Pac-Man's scene in New York is amazing and intense, but if you look closely, you can actually tell that this scene was filmed in Toronto, because there is no TD Canada Trust in the Big Apple.
I'm gonna die of virgin!
Bottom line, even if you hate Adam Sandler and Kevin James' movies with a passion, consider keeping an open mind, because I'm pretty sure you played one of these old arcade games at least once, and it's directed by Chris Columbus. Who knew?
Hello, Big Apple! The cavalry has arrived!
I'll let you tag along, but it's in and out, no mess, and we both forget about in the morning.
This is not the Russian way.
Number 11. The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Nicely done.
I've been hearing about the development hell of this movie for the last few years, though I wasn't interested at first, not just because it's based on a classic TV series from the 60s, but it's really because I'm not a fan of the spy genre. While I give a damn about the two Johnny English movies from 2003 and 2011, everybody else goes to the theater in 2015 to see dumb franchise movies like Kingsman, Mission Impossible, and Bond. So many spy movies in the past year, the only one missing was Bourne, which is saved for July 2016.
Grow a spine, Solo.
However, when I saw the first trailer back in February and kept watching that and the newer trailers for the film, I got hooked because the 1963 setting in various international countries is just amazing, and British actor Henry Cavill talks American as Napoleon Solo and acts way better than 007. Armie Hammer, who played the Lone Ranger, plays a very strong Russian, and Alicia Vikander, who's having quite the year, plays his love interest. And just when you thought the main villain is a guy, it's Elizabeth Debicki.
So sorry I can't stay to finish you off myself.
Judging by the trailers, I actually thought her character would be like Angelica from the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie and maybe redeem herself, but instead she treats Napoleon Solo like garbage and eventually dies. Didn't mean to spoil her fate, but I just had to bring that up because Elizabeth and her accent are just breathtaking. So wait, Solo falls for her, has sex with her, gets drugged by her, gets electrocuted to near death by her wicked Uncle Rudy, and blows her up with the atom bomb. Not too shabby, Mr. Solo.
Nicely done.
Pretty much the only other mistake the writers have made is not actually letting Armie and Alicia kiss at least once. They almost did a few times, but no dice. It's just really too bad that the movie has underperformed despite decent reviews, but a certain other movie that came out on the same weekend, which I'll discuss in a later video, has performed way better than expectations with both critics and the box office. The money it made isn't really a call for a sequel, but the ending that was given away in the trailers set up one, so I like to see one with more of Hugh Grant's Mr. Waverly.
Oh, and you have a new code name.
Code name?
Uncle.
Overall, this is a fun adaptation of an old show with beautiful set pieces, decent humor, terrific acting, and lots of action with hands and various weapons. All I can say is, what an international ride.
How's that for entertainment?
Do you agree with my picks?
Incoming!
Which of these movies do you like? Hit the like button if you enjoyed yourselves, tell me your thoughts in the comments section, and hit the subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 4.
See you tomorrow.